Welcome back to another edition of Castanet's Vees View with head coach Fred Harbinson. I'm your host, Fraser Rogers, and not too long removed from one of the most memorable playoff comebacks probably in Vees history, at least recent history for sure. Now up 3-1 in this Fred Page Cup final against Chilliwack, heading into Game 5 on the weekend. But let's talk about the two games at home. You hold court on home ice, which is key, winning both Games 3 and Games 4, and jump into Game 4, down 3-0, but find a way to win 4-3. That must have been right up there for you.
Yeah, no question. It was real disappointing to be down 3, to be honest with you. We didn't think we were playing all that poorly. You know, I think the first 7 or 8 minutes we get, I think 3 power plays. We get the 5-on-3. We don't score. It almost took a lot of the flow out of the game. And we make one mistake. You're down 1-0. Then you take a penalty. You're down 2-0. And you go into the in-between periods and try to, get the guys rallied up, and then you give another one up, and it looks like the game's going to, slide away from you. But, there was just so much time left in the hockey game that, you try to tell the guys just to kind of hang in there. And I thought we started chipping away, started building some momentum, and it was, it goes without saying we needed to score the next goal, and we did. And it was a real, heavy shift type goal that kind of sparked the whole building, and we went from there.
You look at that second period in Game 4, 17 shots, and you get 2 in less than 2 minutes at the end. It seemed like you talked about the body language, never really wavered, and obviously momentum's a funny thing. It can come and go, and it obviously came back to that club, and you never looked back after that.
Yeah, I know it's critical. The momentum swings that you see in a playoff game and a series, there's a lot of things that go on. And, you look back, you get down 3-0 the next shift. Nash's line with Risling and Ward go out there, and Risling made some thunderous hits and, kind of got in a couple of the Chilliwack's Chiefs players' faces and kind of, let them know that we weren't going to lay down. And it kind of, again, I think that kind of got our guys understanding that there was a lot of hockey left to be played. And lo and behold, he's the guy that scores the winner in overtime.
Yeah, what about that story? We talked about it a few times already through the playoffs, as guys stepping up to the occasion in different times. It's not the same person maybe, but Riley Risling, a guy that had to miss 9 games due to a numbers crunch. We've talked about this on the show, and never pouted, never had an issue, and never gave up. And obviously the Vees never gave up as well. That's a great story for him.
Yeah, I know it's outstanding. To win a championship, you need guys that are kind of selfless, that they're here for the team. And we had Sanheim going through it at one point at the beginning of the playoffs, and then it was Risling. Now Meeker's going through it, and your heart bleeds for them because they're all great guys, and there's a lot of players that are having to sit right now in different situations, and chances are someone will be back in there, and it'll be their turn again. So for Riley, you got to, he was one of those players that the guys loved, and he brings a lot of energy to our team, and it was outstanding to see him rewarded and to help the team win.
A lot of confidence in the group right now, and rightfully so. Very confident at home as well, but you see some younger guys being confident. We talked about this before, but again, Cassidy Bowes scoring a highlight reel goal. He's got points in every single game he's played in the playoffs, and we're talking about depth this time of year. That's got to be a huge bonus when even the younger guys, the call-ups, are contributing.
Yeah, well, you know what, we've always been a hard team to play against. A lot of different depth, different type of depth, but scoring was always kind of something that kind of bit us a little bit early in the year and throughout the regular season, to be honest with you. And in the regular season, I'm not sure if we would have had the ability to come back down 3. We might have made her close, but adding a couple, Rizzo, adding Bowes just adds a little more skill to our sandpaper. So it gives us a little more balance up front.
And lastly, you talked about it several times in the playoffs. The last game of a series is the hardest one to win. Went the distance with both Merritt and Vernon. Now a chance to win a league championship, but it's going to be on the road as well. It's going to be maybe the toughest game of this series coming up in Game 5.
Well, for sure. You've got a great team, and there's a reason they're in the final, and they finished ahead of us in the regular season in points, and they were in the final a year ago. And you've got Kawaguchi right now has got almost 40 points in the playoffs. So it's if we think this thing's over, we're crazy. And for me, talking to our group today, it was all about having a desperation as if we were tied 2-2 in the series. Never mind up 3-1. And if we're going to lose the series, we need to make it where Chilliwack plays 3 of the best hockey games they've played all year. And if they do that, we'll shake hands with them and wish them well. But for us, it's about competing hard, playing with speed, and just not giving anything away right now. We have to make our opponent earn anything they get.
And lastly, maybe putting on the Western Canada Cup hat on. the field has been finalized, and boy, what a field it is. You got Portage out of Manitoba, Battleford's in Saskatchewan, Brooks in Alberta, then the Chiefs and the Vees here in BC, and dare I say, maybe the deepest field this tournament's seen since 2013.
Yeah, you're probably correct there, and it's going to be a fun week and a bit or whatever it is. There, 13 games, and like you said, there's a history with us, with Portage, and with Brooks, and then you've got obviously Chilliwack. We're going through the series right now, and then you've got North Battleford, who hasn't lost a playoff game yet. So it's should be some exciting hockey when this Fred Page Cup is done.
Less than a week away, the WCC, WesternCanadaCup.com. Game 5, Fred Page Cup, Saturday. This has been Vees Views with head coach Fred Harbinson. I'm your host, Fraser Rogers.